Call ceiling experts today. Quality materials, free estimates, affordable prices, professional installation, reliable and efficient service with over 20 years experience. We can build any design given to us. Quality over quantity. Lowest prices in Trinidad, so book us today.
Okay, my friends, pleasant good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago, and to all our loyal viewers, listeners, those of you who are supporters to this station, Sentinel Media Broadcasting, and to our program, Hardfacts. I just want to say a special welcome, and I want to say hats off to you guys, and may God Almighty bless you all and keep you all in a safe mode, keep your families safe. And I do hope and pray that you all will join us continuously in our program today. We are requesting that you share this video live, you share our live to your friends and maybe your comrades. And again, for those persons who are affiliated in the sense of whatever topic that we are discussing here on this program, Hardfacts, please give us a call. The number is 740-3347. And again, my friends, we are here, myself, Imam Rashid Karim, and my good friend Mr. Premchand Baldev. We are here Mondays, Wednesdays and Saturdays bringing you live coverage on events that is taking place in our beautiful country, Trinidad and Tobago. And as a matter of fact, we deal regionally and internationally. So again, those of you who are locked on, feel free to call us. You can change the forum, you can change the topic of our discussion. Once you have facts and you would like to share it to the nation, Trinidad and Tobago, as well as the world, you can call us and let us hear what is taking place in your neck of the woods. All right, so again, my friends, I want to welcome you to our program, and please stay with us, join us and share our video, share our live. We are on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook and Firestick. Prem,
thank you very much, Imam. Assalamu alaikum.
Welcome, salam.
Namaste, and a pleasant warm welcome to each and everyone to our program Hard Facts, viewed on Sentinel Media Live Broadcasting. And Imam, today we have a full day in studio. Okay, so much is going on in our country. We had a budget being presented to the nation, and we also had the leader of the opposition responding to that budget on Friday last.
Yeah.
Okay, so we will get into that a little later in the program. Now, Imam, budget or no budget, pre-budget or post-budget, all right?
Yeah.
The situation in the country, the hardships and the suffering seems to be permanent.
Exactly.
Right? And, I was looking at a video where this people in Granville and in Barrackpore, they haven't had water for months and they are paying up their WASA bills, all right? And the councillor for the area, he said without any doubt in his mind that he was calling upon the Minister of Public Utilities and the Prime Minister to hold the CEO of WASA responsible for the inconvenience caused to these people by not receiving a water supply, and they are paying their bills. Director, do you have that video?
Hold with the video,
Yeah.
is it? Just hold, director, hold with the video a little bit. Prem, as you talk about that, basically we don't really correspond much when we come in
before
studio.
we come to studio, not at all.
Basically, you raise issues and I will just take it on and carry it a bit further.
Yeah.
Right now, this morning I had a senior engineer from WASA in my business place.
He come to buy water tank?
No, he came to buy some PVC fittings and stuff,
good.
right? But I asked him, a few questions. I say, give me an update on the water situation in Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay.
And you know what the guy is telling me, and I want Trinidad and Tobago to hear this, because sometimes this type of information is valid information that could be
suppressed also.
and it could be used. This information is coming directly from people who are working WASA. And he said to me that the Hollis Dam at this present time, the capacity is approximately 41%. That's it, in Hollis Dam. And he was telling me that October, November is basically the month that they use to harvest water to put back in the dam so that they can have a fair supply for when the dry
for the dry season coming.
April, May, and so forth. And he's telling me, Imam, there's really a shortage with the water here. And basically, the point I am making here, right, is what is it that these guys are collecting hundreds of thousands of dollars in salary premium and they are not doing their job? Year in, year out, minister in, minister out, same thing happening every time.
And Imam, it is strange. I am 62, 63 years old now.
Yeah.
I have never heard WASA made a profit. They always depend on the treasury for a bailout, just like Caribbean Airlines.
And that's the point I'm making, right? Prem. And you look,
so they are running a non-profitable entity then.
And Prem, before we move on, and you look good for your age, 63.
Oh God,
all right, so no mama, you look damn good for your age.
Okay.
Now the point I'm making here, my friends, is this: that we are paying these exorbitant salaries to these guys. Who is holding those people accountable, if not the citizens of this country? Is there any organization? Is there any lobby group? Is there anybody watching and looking at the anomalies and the misstep and the bad spending of these government agencies except the opposition? And I tell you something, when we look at the opposition, I don't think that they are doing a fairly good job as yet. Maybe they are waiting on maybe the next budget, or closely looking on for the election to come in. But again, my friends, you cannot have opposition MPs who is really and truly, they are settled in that position and they are happy with that position. And that is the point that I've been making all these time in our program, Hard Facts.
Less responsibility, same pay.
Same pay, that's the point I'm making. And if they are comfortable in that position of opposition, who is going to look after the justifications and the rights of the citizens of this country? We are going to remain right where we are, and even furthermore, we are going to reach lower than the lowest abysses, because nobody is championing our cause. We have been clamoring on this program, right? When you tell me about those Barrackpore people, I think that those people in Barrackpore and Penal and Princestown and Granville and all those areas, they have an MP. And that MP is an opposition minister, opposition. So they're supposed to be canvassing, they're supposed to be lobbying. When they go and sit down, why it is that they cannot, Madam Speaker, I have something to raise, when it comes to my constituencies. And you stand up there, take your 5 minutes, take your 5 minutes, take your 10 minutes, and debate the relevant issues that is taking place in your neck of the woods, whether it be water, whether it be home invasion, whether it be high food prices. And that is basically the mantra of all the constituencies. But again, sometimes the constituency members and the burgesses in the localities, they want to hear and they want to see their MP acting on their behalf. And that is not what we are seeing. When we look at the opposition bench, we are seeing maybe 2 or 3 voices, and that's it. And when people go across there, you know, they're going across for the wrong reason. They're going across to see who are the best presenter, who are the best dressed MP or whatever. And this is what they are doing. They are measuring, they are competing with their own team partners. Yes, and that is something that we have been debating here. We are asking you, get rid of those things that you have called ego.
Imam, I read a comment on TikTok made by a TikToker observer, right? And he said in that comment that the opposition MPs have long passed on. They are politically dead. They may resurrect come 2025 election.
Yeah, they may resurrect, because I tell you something. When you look at what is taking place when it comes to opposition,
none of them are active.
Opposition people, those persons who are opposition MPs, we have been lobbying with you and we have been asking you all the time, join. Raise your hand, lift your heads, and get your burgesses and your constituencies membership to really and truly rally whatever problem. When they have problem, right? If the constituency come out as a group and they are championed by whom? By the MP for the area. I can't go and do it. Prem can't do it.
Ma'am, we will give them free coverage from the station.
And we will go across there and help, and we will share our experience. But when we see like sleeping giants, like Kunkaran, and Rawan and Kunkaran and the story in the Ramlila, we see people sleeping.
But Imam, you're so correct, eh? The video is going to come up yourself, viewers, don't worry. The people in Granville, right? Imagine the councillor have to speak on their behalf and the MP is absent.
Right, so you can show the video now and you tell them what the people have reached to that point now. They're doing prayers. They're doing pujas, and they are asking God Almighty, because the persons who are supposed to be representing them, they are not.
Okay, look out for the Wasa hole in Penal Rock Road. All right. Now in Hinduism, that fig tree is used in the Bedi. The Bedi is the holy altar where we do our worship and make our offerings to the different deities and the God. This gentleman is sending a clear picture. All right, that this country needs prayers. Wasa needs prayers.
And they are fed up.
And they are fed up. Look at this lady. She's taking her own gravel that she bought, her own hoe, and patching a hole. Shame on the government. Shame on the MP for that area also. All right? And that was last year. We had that video since last year. We now find that video in one of our archives.
And this is what people
look the gravel is in the trunk of the car, man.
Yeah.
They're taking us in buckets. You understand? Pinal Rock Road, who is the MP for that area? A sleeping giant. A Kunkaran.
Again, so this is why our problem. So our problem is basically this: people are more on the social media highlighting themselves and not the atrocities of what is taking place and what is being perpetrated by this government of the day. And this is why we are here all week, 3 times per week, identifying, my friends. WASA is telling people to conserve on water. If WASA, do a initial check on how much water is being wasted via the leaks.
I have been
thousands
and
and
to fix this leak a year now. A year now. Look at that.
And thousands and thousands, thousands and thousands of gallons are wasted.
You always say WASA is the culprit for bad road?
Yes, I said that, and I would not retract that. WASA is the reason that we have all these bad roads. The government paved today, WASA dig tomorrow. And it seems as though it is a concerted effort by the relevant agencies to make sure it happens like that. They don't repair the leaks first. They wait till the government of the day, siphon money from, projects that were supposed to be done off the southern ends of Trinidad and the central ends of Trinidad. And my friends, they take those money, siphon those money from projects that supposed to be handed down to the councils for the area in different relevant budgets and so forth. And my friends, those monies are siphoned back. They cut here, cut there, cut there. And again, when they do repair one of those road on the Eastern Main Road, where majority of the works are being done in Trinidad and Tobago at this present time.
You know something, Imam?
Problem.
There is a plan that has been devised, I feel, by this government to allow the citizens to reach to a point of depression and to hate WASA, so they can use that as a weapon against WASA to close down and privatize.
That's a good conspiracy theory. There's a good conspiracy.
Because everywhere you go in this country, people are complaining about WASA. I have not had a proper supply of water for approximately 122 days now. I come in for the tank today. Here to send a tank for me.
Yes. So my friends, again, if the consumption of water, right? I mean, it's something called demand in our country, right? Usage and demands. If the demands of water is high, try to, a certain individual was showing us a video, right? And that video, he was claiming that in the Valsain area, he and that area itself does not ever run out of water. And the main fact of the matter is that it is serving the ministers and those persons who are living in Valsain area, and they are fortunate enough to be connected with that very said line, and hence the reason they are getting a proper water supply. But people like us, people in the central arena, in the southern parts of Trinidad, and in some part of the northern part of Trinidad and Tobago, you are dying for water. So the first case that we are dealing with here, my friends, is the water woes in Trinidad and Tobago. How much problem we are challenged with, we are faced with, and yet still WASA is threatening you to come, cut your supply off, and to get back their monies that you owe them. You understand? They are willing to take or seize assets that belongs to you and your families. So my friends, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to deal a bit on crime, because I tell you something, it is a never-ending story in Trinidad and Tobago. And even so much so, when we look at the worldwide scenario with Israel and Palestine, you are going to see, my friends, and I tell you something, I see this thing called media. This thing called media, a lot of wars, Prim, is fought under the channel and the banner of media. Because I tell you something, when the media portrays something, and the media tell people something, the world believe what the media is saying, and nobody is yet to verify the stories, and nobody, they take it hook, line, and sinker, and they start hating one another. I am telling you something, I am against all wars, right? Maybe it is good for us, it is bad for us, yes, we don't know. But again, I am a person who hates wars, and I believe that nobody should be fighting anybody for anything, especially when it comes to land, because we cannot carry any land in that grave, and when it comes to assets and property, we cannot take it to our graves. So when we come back, we're going to debate a bit on that. We're going to debate on the crime situation in Trinidad and Tobago, and my friends, you are free to call us 740-3347. Thank you.
Call ceiling experts today. Quality materials, free estimates, affordable prices, professional installation, reliable and efficient service with over 20 years experience. We can build any design given to us. Quality over quantity. Lowest prices in Trinidad, so book us today.
Welcome back, friends. Welcome back to our program Hardfacts, viewed on Sentinel Media Live Broadcasting. It is Monday. Imam, it is the first working productive day of the week, and we have a lot of information to share with you. My friends, the Imam was talking about the wars and that sort of thing, right, Imam? Are you aware that there are Trinidad and Tobago nationals in Israel presently, and they are appealing to this government, the government of Trinidad and Tobago, to have them brought back to this country? Right? You remember the COVID time? When our national was stranded all in India and in America and Canada, England, and other parts of the world. And there was this big hullabaloo, you can't come, you can't come. But you know something, ma'am? A friend of mine,
friends and family,
a friend of mine who was in one of the safe houses or the step-down facility, so to speak, right? He was there when some of those people were repatriated and brought back to this country from other countries due to the COVID and whatnot. And when they were sitting and playing the cards and having dinner, you know what these people were saying? They come here to spend Christmas. Nothing happened to them.
Yes.
Right? Thanks to Stuart Young.
Yeah. Okay, so my friends, again, as we continue our broadcast here, our live broadcast on this program, Hardfacts, there are many things that is really and truly affecting the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. I told you all, and we told you all, we're not going to waste time on budget debate. We don't have any time with that, because I tell you something. When we have mentioned this before, the only way, it seems as though our conversation going on deaf ear, we have been talking to the MPs, and I'm going to continue lamenting and championing the cause. The MPs in Trinidad and Tobago, especially the opposition MPs, they are the strength of the party. They are the movers, they are the shakers of the party. They are the one who's supposed to be resilient and strong. They are the one who's supposed to be pioneering the budget debate. What they're supposed to be doing is mobilizing the people in Central and South and North and different parts of the country, mobilizing them, having meetings with those people and igniting a spark, igniting a flame in the hearts of these people, so that these very said people, instead of you having the opposition leader voice, and it seems as though she sounding a little bit hoarse. I know her voice, I know her tremendous appetite for vocals, but she didn't have that, and I have not seen that with her. But the point I'm making here is that the MPs supposed to be rallying and supporting teams, not only paid staff. All those people who are going outside in front Parliament building are paid staff. Don't be fooled, don't get mama guy. Those are office staff, those are MPs, those are mayors, those are councillors bringing their people out there. The actual people, the actual voters is not coming out there. They are not coming out to rally with you all. It only has some activists, yes, a few activists who are getting phone card and whatever to be calling around and stuff. And I know they're going to get vexed with me for that, but I don't really care. But the point I'm making, if the MPs...
They are not in sync with
They are not in sync, exactly. They are not coming out, they are not being vociferous, they are not communicating. If they do communicate, they're communicating with a handful of miscreants and deadbeats. And the message is not going outside there. The same old, waiting on election time, 6 months before election, a heated campaign is going to take place, and bam, we go back in opposition, and we suffer for the next 5 years.
Hope to get into government with that nonsense.
And we're going to suffer for another 5 years again, and the business community in Trinidad and Tobago has to fund this government. Because where are the government getting money? I ask a simple question. I am no economist, I am a forensic auditor, and I tell you all, I ask a question. And the question is, where is it that the government is going to get finance to facilitate that budget? And the only way that we don't have agriculture, we don't have tourism, we don't have oil, we don't have nothing when it comes to revenues and generating funds. We don't have no import, we don't have no export. What is it? Why and how, this is a question I've been asking, how the government of the day is going to finance the budget, Prem. Tell me, Prem.
Well, Imam, that answer, listen.
Tell me, you know, you work in the airport.
All right, hear this, okay? Speaking about mobilizing people, the government announced that they are going to raise the retirement age from 60 to 65. So which means NIS is also going to be move up to age 65. Director, we have a little clip there. Show that clip with the NIS the NIS thing there.
That is the biggest hoax, Prem. That is the biggest hoax and the biggest sham. By adjusting, there are people who are ill at this point in time, right?
There are people who want to go, Imam.
There are people who are fed up and frustrated because they see no horizon in continuously working. And this government of the day is forcing people to continue. Okay, there are some people who are healthy and strong.
Make it voluntary.
And exactly.
Make it voluntary. Who wishes to stay on, stay on.
Yes, you can. Right? You can impose that and make that mandatory. That is wrong. Read that, Prem. Read that.
I work in 20 years, paying my NIS without fail. Why must I have to work 5 more years because idiots in charge of NIB mismanaging NIS? Why must the working class pay no to age 65 retirement? People are speaking up. Imam, for that one single thing, there should have been mass protests in this country.
I see, that's what I tell you.
That
is the reason why
opposition is silent.
The opposition MPs, they are collecting salaries. And who vex with me, I really don't care. I'm telling you what you all supposed to be doing. I am in politics before half of those MPs, or even 3/4 of those MPs. All those MPs, as a matter of fact, came in recently. I tell you something, you look at maybe 45 to 55% of those MP recently came in and they start showing their heads. Who vex lost? I in this dance long time. I in this dance real long. And I tell you all something, my friends, you have to mobilize. You have to come out, walk the people. You have to give some of your family time. You have to give 2 Sundays every month. Every single month, you have to give off 2 Sundays for your constituencies. Rally. Don't wait only for election, because I tell you something, there are certain areas that if you put a kobo, you put a crapo, you put a dog, you put anybody, they're going to win the election because people are voting tribal in those areas, whether it be PNM or UNC.
Yes.
But the point I'm making, let the MPs come out there and motivate. People, we put you all there as a motivation, not to go and model.
You all are our voices.
We expect you to come down and report to us. When is it that you're going to report to us? You want to report? What about people who are not, they are not acquainted with television and Facebook and all these things? When is it that the MP is going to report to the constituency members? When? That is the reason why every single constituency MP should be dealing with their burgesses, whether it be Shogunas West, whether it be Shogunas East, whatever area in Trinidad and Tobago. Like for example, in the Shogunas Borough Corporation, there are 8 burgesses, right? That means to say that the MPs of both areas should have at least 8 meetings every so often, maybe every 3 months, so that everybody could be a quorum. And you come there and you report. I want to report. Let it be like a format. That I am so-and-so, let me just take for example, I am MP Rambali, right? Dinesh Rambali. And I'm here to speak on behalf of you all. And I want to give you a report on what has taken place. And you tell them what is happening in Parliament. How much time you have been shut down. How many times your bill have been cancelled. How many times, and explain to the people that you all, we are a minority, they are majority, and this is what is going to happen. And there's other ways and means. We have to shut down this country. We have to learn to shut down this country. When we say shut down this country, we mean shut down this country. And let the government of the day understand that we mean business.
Imam, they want to raise the retirement from 60 to 65. You tell me, a laborer working hard every day at age 60, going under 65, then to get a retirement pension. What production can you get from him? Health is failing. Eyesight is failing. He's tired now. He wants to go home. His mind is to go home and stay with his children.
I want to ask a question, Prem. Do you all know Trinidad and Tobago? I want to ask this question.
You know the retirement should be also for the politicians in Parliament.
Prem, exactly so. But what we are saying, Prem, you see, they don't do nothing. What is it that they do laborers in Parliament? Only tap them?
Only that.
What do they do?
Only
do
that.
They stand up and be vociferous and champion the cause for the people of Trinidad and Tobago? No. It is as though, they are maintaining their seat and they don't want to mash no toes. And this is what is happening. My friends, I want to ask you all something. When you look at what you all are eating and what you all are drinking, forget the alcohol. We're talking about alcohol. We're talking about that pipe-borne water that you all drink and that bottled water that you all drink. How much toxin is in that bottled water? How much toxin is in that tap water that you all are drinking? Look at the component that they are using to purify that water, and look at the negative effect that it have on people's kidney.
Yes.
On people's kidney. People are asking this question, you know, people are asking, you check 30 years and 40 years ago, right? Trinidad and Tobago, let's be real. 40 years ago, there were no kidney failure. Nobody was suffering from kidney failure. If a person would have suffered from kidney failure, would have been 1 or 2 people. Now you look at it, when you look at what is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago, there's approximately 30,000, 25,000 people suffering from kidney failure. And the question begs to be asked, why? Why? You look at the vegetables that you're eating, the people spraying it Friday and they selling it Saturday morning. This is what is happening, Prim.
The right fig.
Yes, you put green fig there and they're spreading some chemical on that, and Sunday morning it's looking beautiful and yellow, and by Monday it gets quail and mash up. What is it that we are putting in our bodies? And what is it that the government of the day doing? People are suffering in this country for medication. There's, you know, all right, you don't have medication, right? I remember this, right? When I was in elementary school, the motto from the Ministry of Health would have been prevention is better than cure. You remember that?
Yes.
Every student in Trinidad and Tobago would have understand the mantra or the motto of the Ministry of Education would have been prevention is better than cure. Why it is that these, I don't want to say a negative word, because I'm trying to calm myself. Why it is that the Minister of Health doesn't come out and let people know some of the gravity, the negative gravity that people are putting in their stomachs. You put up a big sign, you know, you put up a sign, tobacco is injurious to your health. Where's that sign? Where's that sign, Prim? You know where the sign? They run the whole advertisement, and in the bottom, a little thing in the bottom there, and people who can't read, can't see it, they can't even read it, can't spell it good, and they put it underneath. That should have been in bold red. Smoking is injurious for your health. And all those things that people are buying outside there, you all are going to get angry with me, but that's your business. When we eat bad and we don't exercise, right? And we live this kind of dokedam life, in other words. Dokedam. We put strain on the health, Ministry of Health. We put strain on the legal service. We put strain on the medical and also the social services in this country. Why? Because we don't have a proper lifestyle. We have been asking over and over and over in this program, Ministry of National Security.
Can you come back with that, Imam?
Yeah, National Security. Yes. Tell the people of Trinidad and Tobago what can we do to protect ourselves and our family.
In our home.
In our own homes.
Yeah.
We asking Terence Dial Singh, do something, do some program, do something to highlight the anomalies that is taking place when it comes to the health of our citizen, Prim.
Imam, I laugh it.
Tell me.
We have a Minister of Health who is not a doctor. You understand?
Read it out.
But he has a team to advise him.
Yeah.
We have a Minister of Finance who is a construction engineer. We have a Minister of National Security who was only a constable.
Yeah, he's a constable. Was a constable,
Was a constable. All right, and always sleeping in Parliament. Hence the reason why. And we have a Prime Minister who says, who live, and who dead. He doesn't care about anything. Okay? So again, did we have a parallel healthcare system when this country was undergoing COVID? No. People were dying in tents all about. Okay?
And Prim, as I tell you this, you know, I tell you this, majority of those people who died, they died because of overdose of oxygen. Take it, smoke it in your pipe. Smoke it in your, and I get that.
Explain that
Let me tell you something. Oxygen.
Are you saying that they were not trained personnel to
I tell you something. The tension was so much. That's supposed to be monitored by registered personnel. Right? I tell you this, and this came, it is alleged. I just want people to know what I am saying. This guy is an oxygenist. Imagine that word, oxygenist. And he would have been the one who would have studied on the components of oxygen. People say, give me oxygen, give me oxygen. Yeah. You can't take too much of oxygen. That could start, it could start rotting your lungs and all these things. A lot of people, friends, and this is information that was held back. I am saying it. I am telling you, it is alleged what the guy is saying to me. And I was so much surprised because I never thought oxygen could kill you. An overdose of oxygen could kill you. And he told me that. So if I am saying anything adverse,
It was alleged.
it was alleged.
Yes.
Right?
Mhm.
So continue, Prim.
Yeah. Now, Imam, on the topic of crime, okay, we move on to the topic of crime now, right? Viewers, it is very, very unsafe to be in the capital city of Trinidad and Tobago, which is Port of Spain.
Yeah.
Whether you're shopping, whether you're lineman, whether you're going to do business at any government office, or you're working in Port of Spain, it is very, very unsafe. Director, there's a video. Bring it on. This is Port of Spain, people. Volume.
No volume.
Okay. Just look at it, these two youth men there in the black jersey. All right? Hanging around by the fig stall, the banana stall there. Imam, them fellas reach 25 years ahead, you know. Watch them. Look at this one. Look at this one. It was alleged there was $6,500 in that bag. All right? And phone cards, and cell phones, and documents, government documents, and whatnot.
Okay, so again, my
Yeah.
friends, those of you who are locked on, we are live on this program, Hardfacts, on this station, Sentinel Media Broadcasting, and we are highlighting to you all, be very safe, whether you are in Shogunas, whether you're in Arima, whether you are in Grandi, whether you are in Davie, wherever you are in Trinidad and Tobago. I tell you something, this country at this point in time, we have really and truly lost a lot of hope when it comes to surveillance, because I tell you something, majority of the time you ask people, hey, and the people are scared. People are scared to go even show footage because they know who the culprits are. But they are scared. They are not going to give anybody. They are not going to give anybody
Okay,
a footage.
there's a foreigner who was robbed in Port of Spain of $170,000. She says she's not coming back to Trinidad and Tobago. Says country now a crime haven. Shoppers, vendors, businesses in fear of criminals in Port of Spain. Extortion victim fearful for his life. Okay, we have that here.
So when these things, these type of messages and signals are sent out, I tell you
That
something.
has already gone viral.
This is something that I tell you, you look at the American embassy, you look at the Canadian embassy, you look at the British embassy, you look at the Chinese embassy, and you look, as a matter of fact, all the embassies that is in Trinidad and Tobago, namely Port of Spain. I am sure that they have already sent bulletin
Travel advisory.
outside there.
Yes.
Now we have a minister of tourism. We have a minister of tourism in this country. We have a minister. And these people are not even vocal for 1 second, coming outside and you know what? Apologizing.
Yes, yes.
They have to apologize to the nation. That is a foreigner. That a written apology should be sent to that woman and sent to the embassy to do damage control. But they don't know about that. They don't know about that. All they're concerned with, we are safe. I have my firearm. You, my family have firearm. We are well protected in a gated community. We can call Mario's. We can call Rituals. We can call this company, that company, and food can be shuttled in. We don't need to go outside. All we need to go in Parliament and show our faces, eat the bounties of this country, benefit from the bounties of this country, and fly away to Holland, Denmark, New York, wherever they go, and enjoy vacations. That's it. They don't care about Trinidad. You look at those. When was the last time Trinidad and Tobago did you see a minister in your neck of the woods? Except when cameras were blaring and you know something was happening to be on the media. When did you see any MP or any ministers visit a person for a prayers, a puja?
That you would not say. That you would not say.
You know, visit a masjid. You know something? I hate this, Prim. I hate this. Election time, all the MPs, I want to go in the mosque. Carry me in the mosque. I want to go in the temple. Carry me in the temple. I want to mamagai the people. I have been mamagaiing them already. Let me go in the mosque. Let me go in the temple. Let me go in the church and take out photo and let them know that we are user friendly to the Christian community. We are user friendly to the Muslim community. We are user friendly to the Hindu community. And the mosque, the church, and the temple, right now they need a little fan. Because of what? Because of the heat. They need a air condition. Nobody is saying anything. Nobody is helping. And you know something? TNTEC is telling people, hey, well, cut down on what? Cut down on usage of current.
Yes.
Electricity. Don't overuse electricity. And some people have 5,000 Where a normal 12,000 BTU is covered 12 by 12. Some people have 5,000 BTU. It's like a freezer, right? But they can do it because you know why? They live in the hills. They live in the heights. They live in the luxurious parts of Trinidad and Tobago. But people in the central, people in the southern, and people in some of the northern areas have to suffer the brunt of the sword and the brunt of your decision. And that is why today I'm calling on the MPs to get up from your chairs and stand up and do the right thing. You are getting paid. And you are getting big dollars. Because if you wasn't getting big dollars, some of you are lawyers, some of you are doctors, some of you are engineers, you could have made more money there. But you all seeing the avenue to make more money in politics.
Bigger money.
So you are staying here. That's the reason. Because if you are doing what we are asking you to do, come out and meet the people, we would have known by now that you are a user-friendly person to the community. And I'm calling on the opposition leader at this point in time to get all her MPs off their butts and try to mobilize, because you want to do a budget debate, right? A pre-budget debate, you want to do a budget debate and so forth, post-budget debate. And what is happening? The people doesn't even care. I told you all this. A budget, people only concerned about fuel, if salary going up, if there is an increase in pension, maybe 5 things. Only 5 things, and the rest, you all could take it, put it in a barrel, and ship it to Ihi-Oho. All right? Ship it to Ihi-Oho. But tell the people in that budget, don't have we wonder around. You know something? Those 5 things, they put it intermittently. Way down. So we had to listen to the bull and crap. We had to listen to all their crap. And at the end of the day, the 5 things. That's why people don't feel Trinidadian dotish. Trinidadian they don't even listen to them. Watch out the statistics. Maybe 200-300 people listen alone. They will listen for 5 minutes and go about doing their work and forget you all, because you all rant and rave and the same thing over and over. That budget is going to be staying at the same. Nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change. Unless you mobilize your people and you head up in Port of Spain and you let them know and let them understand that we are suffering and you are not suffering. Sell that Mustang, sell that Prado, sell that vehicle. Let you, the individual persons, benefit from the cuffs and the booties of this country.
Imam, there are people who have reached 58 and 59 and expecting to go home.
Yes.
There are people who are 55 and wondering what the hell is going to happen when they reach 60 next 3, 4, 5 years. And they are in tears. They have planned their retirement, right? To get a NIS and whatnot. And this government has put their plans on a shelf, on hold. And the opposition nothing about
that remind me, right?
Nothing about
Prem, that remind me of the guy who was going to bring that machine to pull in.
Yeah,
He planned everything, put everything in place with that system that they had via the maybe $3,000 or $4,000 in that credit card that he was expecting to get.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And he calculated that in a year time he's going to get a machine. Now when Imbert cut that by half, 50%, that means to say that his business now, it throw back for another year again. So he has to wait 2 years. Now the same thing again, a lot of people who work in government, there are people who are suffering. There are people who really and truly reach that. Nowadays, when you are 60 years, right, and you look at the 60-year-old people, they look like 75. You know why? Because of the bashing of the government, because of the hardship of this country, because of the stress,
yes,
because of the fear of the criminal elements. So don't tell me you're going to shift it back here. You trying, that's a smart trick. That's a con artist trick, where you sending it back for 65 years, and you know for a fact that people are not living for until 65 to 70 years. So when you have to pay nil. You don't have to give back nothing, because majority of them. What about the man who is single? He working 20 years and he's single, he died. Who benefit from that?
Nobody.
If he have a wife, he lucky. Let's take the caller. Caller, go ahead. Yeah. Let's take the caller. Caller.
Yeah, hello. Good day.
Yes, good day. Welcome to the program, Hardfacts. You are live?
Yes, Mr. Value. Me here. Yeah. Listen, I was listening to a newscast earlier on. Are you with me?
Yes, you go ahead. Mm-hmm.
I was listening to a newscast earlier on, and the newscast was saying the Minister of National Security apologized to the country for the state of crime that is taking place in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, in all fairness to the people, I think this is the same minister who said that crime wasn't his business.
Yeah,
or it
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
wasn't his
exactly,
yes.
business to
exactly,
make.
exactly.
You're correct, yes.
I mean, people, it's better he didn't say nothing in my opinion, because it makes no sense to me, in my humble opinion, that you saying that you apologize for the state of crime and you remaining as a minister. So I think if you had to apologize, because people just apologize for two reasons. Either they do somebody something wrong and they apologize to the person, or they recognize that they make a mistake and they say I make a mistake. So an apology, in my opinion, could be a person acknowledging that they would have failed.
Exactly.
So I think if we are apologizing for the state of crime in this country, it should be followed up by a
Resignation.
A
resignation.
resignation. Well
That's
said. Yes.
my humble opinion. Yes, that's my humble opinion.
You know, well, that's a general consensus of Trinidad and Tobago. People have been saying that. I before you call up, before you call in to the show, I said something like that. I said that the ministers who are not performing supposed to apologize, and when they do apologize, understand that it should be followed by a resignation letter because they are non-performers. Okay, so thank you, caller.
Especially, yeah, man, yeah, okay.
Okay, thank you, caller. So again, hats off to the caller. And those are persons who are listening, again, this is your show. Hardfacts is your program. And we ask you to call our program 740-3347. Go ahead, caller. Another caller on the line.
Right.
Caller.
Good day, sir. How are you going?
Good day,
Mr.
good day.
Karim,
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to talk about the U.S. dollar situation where they're talking about increasing U.S. dollars and stuff.
Right.
Up to now, they haven't had a plan to increase the GDP. They shut down Carney Green. They shut down so much mechanisms that was bringing U.S. currency into Trinidad. I know they're talking about bringing currency. How they intend to increase the currency? They don't have a plan. But they shut down everything that was bringing in U.S. currency. Every single plan. So they're just talking a sort of nonsense.
True.
Baffling the people with bullshit.
Correct. I want you to listen off air. Thank you, caller. Thank you, caller. I tell you something, every program, Prem, every single program, as long as I am sitting on this chair, I am going to say hats off to the business community, because the business community is the blood of this nation. Right? Whether it be 1%, whether it be 95%, whether it be 10%, I really don't care about any percentage. That's the same thing that I'm thinking about when it comes to the Israel war and Palestinian war. I tell you something, that is a big, big issue. And let me tell you something again, my friends. The propaganda machine is in place to make one side look as though they are demons, right? And they you know what they're doing? They're covering the tracks of the other side. That's your business. You all decide. But I tell you something, any life that is lost via that war, I tell you this, God Almighty is going to take responsibility of those persons who caused that on those persons losing their innocent life. Whether you are Muslim, whether you are Christian, whether you are Jews, whether you are Hindus, whatever you are, okay? We are against war simply because, my friends, when you look at it, every time a war is ignited in this world, some nation is going to benefit from it, Prem.
Yes.
Some nation has ignited that. Some nation has started that simply because, number one, their economy has gone rock bottom. And they are starting this. Why? So that they can pilferage and they can they can take over other countries that is a wealthy country. I will stop there. I don't want to say anything more. But you all read between the lines. Read between the lines. Now, I'll tell you something. The caller who just called, the government of Trinidad and Tobago shut down all U.S. generating businesses in this country that would have brought in U.S.
foreign
dollars.
currency, yes.
Let me tell you something. That's the reason why I'm saying hats off to the business community, because I tell you something. Majority of the local businessmen in this country, they have initiated a full-fledged plan to service and sell the CARICOM Islands. Majority of the goods from Trinidad and Tobago, it is coming from China, it is coming from India, it is coming from America. It comes here and then it is resold back to places like Guyana, places like Grenada, places like Barbados, and all these, the Lesser and the Greater Antilles.
So you're bringing in a foreign
So
exchange.
what they are doing, they are using wisdom, they are using brain that God Almighty gave them. So when they sell across there, they will be generating a certain amount of US income that they can pay for their goods. So maybe the profit is here, and again, the capital investment is outside. And this is how the local business community is thinking. I can't understand that we have government ministers in this country and they can't think alike. I close my case, Prem.
Let's take a break, Director.
Call Ceiling experts today. Quality materials, free estimates, affordable prices, professional installation, reliable and efficient service with over 20 years experience. We can build any design given to us. Quality over quantity. Lowest prices in Trinidad, so book us today.
Welcome back, friends, to our program Hardfacts, viewed on Sentinel Media Live Broadcasting. With me in studio is Imam Rashid Karem. Imam has been my friend for approximately 40 years, and we have never had any big major falling out. We disagree on certain little things, handsy-pansy thing, we would say, and we back. That's why we're here together in this program. And to our callers, thank you very much for your wonderful contribution. Now, Imam, in Hinduism, in the very first, second page, I think it is, in the Holy Ramacharitmanas, the author, the poet, Goswami Tulsidas, says, Bandava Guru Padakans Kripa Sindhu Nararupa Hari Maha Mohatamapuns Jasuvachan Ravi Karnikara. What does that mean? He says, firstly, Bandau Guru Padakans, firstly, I bow down, or I offer my respectful salutations and homage unto the lotus-like feet of my preceptor. Preceptor here for school children is your teacher in school, your principal, right? Your imam, your pundit, or your MP, and that sort of thing. You can remember, recall in days gone by, Imam, high regard was paid, respect to a teacher. Headmaster, you remember those days? We used to call him postmaster. The person in charge of the post office, postmaster. Look at the title that was afforded to these people. When our parents would see a policeman, they would take off their hat, the old people used to wear their hat, and put it here and then address him. They go to a government office to speak to somebody in authority. The hat is here and they would bow a little bit. And where has we see in our schools today, I know where you're coming. We see in our schools today, these children have no blasted bottom-see and no respect, right? And respect and bottom-see begins in the home.
Prem, that was the days of people.
Right
now we dealing with hyenas and monsters.
The Prime Minister said so.
He said that?
He said that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we dealing with hyenas.
He said the conduct of the women of today are like hyenas in African jungle. There is a video circulating in social media. Look at the school there. You have the video there. Abusing the school teacher in the worst manner. Look at her body language. And I'll tell you, calling on her mother to come to deal with the teacher in school. The teacher is your preceptor, little girl. The teacher is the one who is going to shape your future by assuring her knowledge and expertise upon you. And you are disrespecting that teacher. Look at that child body language. And the others are laughing. And teacher is so humble. Look at the body language of the teacher. Her countenance, she's so humble there and she's standing. She's probably wondering, what the hell should I do in this situation?
No, I tell you something. That is what you call intelligence.
Yeah.
I tell you something.
On the teacher's part.
Yeah, on the teacher's part. Because I tell you something. The moment that teacher raised her hands, that would have been the demise of that teacher.
Yeah.
Right? So she did well to calm her nerves and really and truly benefit. But my friends, again, I tell you something. Bullying in government schools in Trinidad and Tobago really and truly has to be dealt with. We are supposed to be dealing with that at a different level, right? What we are seeing here, a child is being subdued, a female by a security. And these are things that is happening because I tell you something, my friends, bullying in school doesn't only go towards the students. Because normally when I say, people would have said this, bullying would take place with students. But I tell you all something, and I have noticed that, and I have seen that, and people have spoken to me about that. Number one, the principals are being bullied. The principals in the schools are being bullied by both parents and students. Number one.
And higher authorities.
Right.
Not to report it.
Right. And number two, I tell you something, teachers are scared out of their wits. Some teachers, something, when they get their first, their first batch of students, and they would understand the student countenance, and they would look at the students,
profiling.
They would know exactly which one of those students are going to give trouble. They know that ahead. And I tell you something, teachers would be profiling. And I don't give them anything wrong about that. Because their life is at stake. Because I tell you something, that teacher could have been stabbed up.
Yeah, or beaten by the other students.
Yes, I remember this, and I told you all this. I saw principal being beaten. I saw teachers being beaten. I saw security guards being beaten. I saw watchmen being beaten. I saw many things happening in schools, right? And I tell you something, van drivers are being bullied and beaten. Van drivers,
Imam,
cleaners, janitors.
Teachers' vehicles are being vandalized in the car park in schools.
So when we look at it, and we are seeing all, imagine this, we are seeing all these things happening. I remember
Where's Gladdy?
One of those persons said, it is we time now. In Parliament, they come out bold and vociferous, and they say what? It is our time now. So what does that mean? It doesn't mean that you are allowed
to bully you.
That's exactly what I'm going to say.
Bully you and bully the country.
And that is something that the minister, the same thing we said earlier, Minister of Health supposed to be making proclamation on a regular basis. National Security Minister as well as the Commissioner of Police, same thing. What is your position? Are you being muzzled by the hierarchy of the party or by the Prime Minister, or as a matter of fact, by the 1%? Are you being muzzled? These are questions that I'm asking. Why it is that you're not speaking out?
What does the Minister of Education has in place to deal with this type of behavior and these type of students? What counsel do they have in place?
Counsel or no counsel? One person who
counsel for the teacher.
A distinctive person who did a video, he said this, all the blame should go to the parents. Now I would say 95% of the blame should go to the parents, not 100. Because I know for a fact that there's a 5% or a 10% of the parents who are really trying 100% to ensure that their children are taken care of, that their children are well groomed. But when they go in that classroom for 6 hours and 7 hours, they are being manipulated. The same changes that the parents are making at home, trying to bring the child with, with manners and all these things. When they go to school, if they look at that child, the child last week, I feel that day I was so emotional, I couldn't even remember the word to even say denominational. I was dumbstruck. Yes, imagine that mother and father brought that child in that nice, conducive, calm way.
I would have removed my child from that school.
One time.
And send that child
that
to
is what
paid school.
that what is a good ground for that child to take, for the mother of that child or the father of the parents of that child to take that child out of that school, because that child, you have evidence of that child being bullied, and that child is not capable of handling being bullied. And that is why children, you hear 12-year-old and 10-year-old and 11-year-old committing suicide. You see in your schools that many of your children are calling sick every day, every week, 2-3 times a week. They are calling in sick and say, we had to come home, come for me early, because they are scared to remain after school, because the bullies are waiting outside the school to bully them. So you all have to take note. If you have to take your children out of the schools and put them in a school that
Make the sacrifice.
Make the sacrifice.
Make it.
Because the government of the day is not doing anything to ensure the safety of your school. I saw last 2 weeks, I saw a child being stabbed up. Just now you're going to hear people going to go in school with guns, high-powered rifle.
Imam, they shoot up a police station just the other
We're
day.
talking about school.
Eh?
Police station, they did that. I predicted that a long time. And I'm telling you now, I am predicting this, that if the Minister of Education do not take a stand at this point in time, you're going to see this for your own self, that schools, people are going to enter schools with high-powered rifle. When you look at those people who are guards or security at the schools, they are retired people. They are people who do not have the education, they do not have the know-how, they do not understand the temperament of these children. They cannot do a citizen arrest. They are weak and frail people, just taking down number plate and ushering. No, you have to get two serious-minded persons by the door, so that when you see children coming in there not properly uniformed, send them to the principal office. You have to be very, very careful what you are doing. Those simple things really and truly instill proper behavior
And you know,
and conduct.
that is a school level, you know, boy.
Yeah, that's little children level.
So just that we might see a member of parliament or a minister of government being bullied by a child, cursing him in the worst manner.
Well, that has happened. That has happened already in Beetham. We saw it in Beetham.
Oh, yes,
a certain minister went across there and they take some water and they kick it on him.
Yeah.
You understand? And we didn't hear anything about that. But when the guy who threatened, he made a threat against some minister, the police went and fined him immediately, and I think they put him to court and he was to pay a fine.
Even in our days of school, just to kind of subtle up this issue a little bit, right? In our days of school, a complaint come home from the school that they want to see your parents. You trembling in your boots, you know?
One time.
Because he licks home and licks in school, and he telling the teacher, beat him in school too.
Exactly.
Right?
Those days for that
There
gone.
was never school bullying in our days.
Gone.
Never.
Those days gone. All right. So my friend, those of you who are locked on, we have our last segment. We're going to ask you all to join with us, call us, and highlight what is taking place in your community. Are you satisfied with the roads?
But the government bullying you. Hey, we're not going to retire at 60. Dead at 65. I bully.
No, well, people take it.
Yeah, take it.
Yeah, take it, because the MP is not supporting. MPs, as I say, which one are the MPs? You see, MPs had a bat in the crease. MPs, members of parliament, the opposition side, have to bat in the crease, because if they don't toe the line, they're going to be replaced. And you know who's going to they are going to be replaced. And when you look at the ministers now, anytime the ministers try to oppose the prime minister of the day, or even the hierarchy of the party, then again they have to be shoved and pushed aside and be replaced. So when you look at performance again, my friends, what we have to do in this country is be vociferous as a people, get somebody who's going to represent us properly, and meet with the people and treat with the burgesses and the constituencies, you know, at a period of time that is a necessity. After budget is a necessity.
Yes.
It's a necessity.
And you know, Imam, budget has been read. I started the program with that. And post and pre-budget discussion and post-budget discussion have come and gone. Right? And you know the nice thing about it? The working class and the citizens continue to pay health surcharge, no medicine at all. NIS from 60, work till 65. You continue to pay as you own on your salary, and you continue to pay VAT, value added tax, 12.5% on every commodity, inclusive of online shopping. Nobody is saying nothing. Not one member opposition MP is reputing that or saying, hey, let me kick against this, let me hold a match. No.
Now, Prem, hear me good.
Solid.
Hear me good. Listen carefully, Trinidad and Tobago.
Fix your own road, buy your own material.
We have $60 billion budget.
62.
We just saying, forget that $2 billion go thief out. They put it like that, $2 billion go move out. Shift out or thief out or fraud or embezzle, I don't know. But let me just leave it at 60 billion. I want to find out, Imam Rashid Karim and Premchand Baldev on this program, Hardfacts, how much of those billions dollars going to be spent in the central arena?
Doctor.
How much of those $60 billion is going to be spent to bring comfort, to bring some resolve in the life of citizens of central Trinidad? When you look at Shogunas West, 50,000 people in that Burgess. You look at Shogunas East, 25,000. We look at Central have 100,000 people. And I'm talking about just the flat plain. We're talking about from Caroni East, Caroni West. We're talking about Shogunas East, Shogunas West. We're talking about those 4 constituencies, approximately 100,000 voters, and I would say about 100,000 citizens in the country.
Imam, I can say something? You're throwing sand in the opposition MPs and them rice by saying that. But they are the ones who supposed to come on and tell the where is the shadow minister of finance? MP member of parliament?
I don't know.
You understand?
They need to come out. But the point I'm making, I just join a reference here. In the central arena, we have more people than Tobago put together.
Correct.
We have more people in central, from Caroni East, Caroni West, Shogunas East, Shogunas West. In voters alone, statistics clearly indicate that we have approximately 100,000 people. That is minus children from under the age of 18, right? And we are talking about another 100,000 people. So we're talking about 200,000 people. Rashid Karim, Premchand Baldev on this program asking the question in Parliament, how much of those $1 billion are going to be spent for this 200,000 people who are living in central Trinidad? Tell me. Somebody call and say how much. And let me tell you something. If we get out of that $60 billion, if we get $2 billion from that, we're lucky. Because when you look at the corporations, how much hundreds of millions do they collect? I could do a statistic for you, and I will do that for next week. For the next program, I will tell you how much of that billions of dollars come in the central area. We don't have a health center, right? We don't have any sporting facilities. We don't have any swimming pool. We don't have any cremation site. The Islamic community, all we cry and we beg for is a little piece of land. They give us 2 acres of land, and we had to fill it up, we had to build it up, we had to develop it, and we had to put things in place. We had to build everything. We look at the cremation site, nothing to cremate the Hindu community, right? We look at the boat, the fishermen, the fisher folks, right? Nothing to really and truly uplift their environment. We look at sports and culture in Trinidad, nothing.
No job opportunities in Central.
So when you look at Central and San Fernando and South Trinidad, and you say it have 5,000 bar, you know the reason why? People go in there to drown their sorrow and drown the pressure and the stress from this government. They're trying to do that, but my advice is that don't do that. Harness your strength and let us do what we're supposed to be doing. The government's supposed to be responding to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Not only Central, not only South, not only North, but the whole of Trinidad and Tobago should be it should be known to them how much of this $60 billion is going to be allocated to their benefits. You know the biggest mama guy and the biggest, I would say corruption, the biggest hoax is that thing called property tax.
Yeah, you forget that, boy.
Yeah, that is the biggest hoax. Because I tell you something, there are people who are not going to pay a cent in property tax.
And nothing is going to be done.
And who is going to pay property tax? The people, the honest, hard-working citizens of this country.
Who feel threatened.
And the residents of this country, they are going to be threatened. Their backs are going to be thrust against a solid concrete wall, and they have no choice but to just work like slave and fill the pockets of this government so that they can spend how they want, when they want, and dictate when to resign, and dictate how you should go. You shouldn't go to no vacation because they cut the US, right?
Yes.
So that means they say no vacation for you. Go to Tobago and be treated and discriminated upon in Tobago. Go ahead, go to Tobago. Go in the other countries and buy a chubby. When you buy a chubby in Trinidad is $1.85. $2 when you go in places like Barbados, you're paying the same money multiplied by the currency rate,
yes.
And you're paying like $6 for a chubby. You buy something like that. May people wake up and smell the coffee. You are being enslaved in this country, Trinidad and Tobago, by the government of the day. They are persecuting you under the watchful eyes of the opposition and the parliament opposition.
Bullying them.
Oh God, people. I really fed
Ma'am,
up.
can the
Pretty much fed up.
can the MPs of the different constituencies, like we have a Shogunas West, we have a Shogunas
Yeah.
East, right? Is there any way these fellas could do a forensic audit on how much money is being spent by the government in their constituency for the year 2022,
Not
2023?
do. They're supposed
They're supposed to be doing that.
That should be on the tip of the finger. This is why you are MP. You're supposed to come and report to the people. Report to the constituent.
And report it
Let
in
them
the
know.
parliament.
And say, well, here what, we're not agreeing with that. That is the whole objective of you all holding power. Not to go up there and mama guy people. Come out and talk. Although mightn't like me, although wouldn't like me, because I'm speaking the truth. You are the MP of the area. Right? I'm not saying you are ministers, you are the MP. Come and tell the people the truth. Well, they're giving all nothing, you know. The mama guy and all you. That's what we send you all there for. Not to conceal information. No. We send you all there to harness, bring information, dissect the information, share the information, so that the people who are not educated like you all could understand.
Rally with your troops.
Yes.
Rally with your
and
people.
then if you need help, I feel if our MP call a meeting today, right? If our MP call a meeting today, nobody will go. Nobody will come out.
I myself not going.
Because you know why?
It's night time. Bandits were looking for when I
Exactly.
going home.
And I tell us, not only that,
For
Prem,
what you could tell me.
not only that, Prem, people have lost, they have become disenchanted.
Yes, lost
They
that
have
confidence.
they have lost confidence in their MPs. People have lost, and you know, people are going to get vexed with me. People might call me again. I really don't care. But I have an MP. I tell you something. I have an MP. That is Dinesh Rambali. He is doing as much as he can. But I would like to see more done by him, and as well as all the MPs, all those people who are, you know, vociferous in parliament and vociferous when in office and championing the cause and feel that they are the opposition leader and they are the voice of the opposition leader. Come out and let people know what's going on.
Imam.
There are people who in parliament, Prem. There are people who in parliament, you don't even hear a word from them. They only collecting salary, they collecting stipend, and they feel that, oh, all they get bus through pass and they get blue light and that's it.
I want to tell the opposition, Monday night forum is not cutting it.
Waste of
With the
time.
people. And this Wednesday, what you call it, is have on some kind of live something, that also is not cutting it. Come out and meet your people by their homes in the streets. Do something.
What
Or
they,
lay back.
what they, what they
Or
have,
lay
what
back.
they, what they have to do, Prem, what they have to do is do a roster, do
Oh
a
God,
diary,
I've said that many times
do
already,
a diary, Prem,
Yes.
and hear what? Shagonas West, for the month you do 2 meetings. And in that 2 meetings you must have at least 5 MPs. At least 5 MPs. And then you rotate, you make a circle and you rotate. Don't only send meeting in La Jolla and send meeting in Barrackpore and send meeting in Central. No, don't do that. Meet your people. Meet your people in a corner like long time. Meet your people in a corner when you have a meeting in a corner.
True.
Hey, people used to come out, people used to enjoy that. A political meeting long time was a passion and a love. People would prepare from, and not that alone, people would make the snacks, they would make the sahina, they would make the polori, they would make the nuts and chana, and they will go across there, and they will sit down, and they would listen, and they will talk, and they will take the microphone, and they will talk. Today you don't have that.
That joy,
Everything is a shoved down, everything is a pushed down the throat. What the MP say, and what this one say, and what that one say, that's it. And you know they're going and regurgitate the same thing over and over and over and over and over, and we reach nowhere, and we reaching nowhere very, very fast. Where the councillors? Where the councillors earlier?
Just here they was backing for local elections.
Yeah, where the councillors? When was city councillors? When was the last day city councillors? We have not seen Faik Mohammed, the mayor of Shogunas. I have not seen him live for the longest while. And you know something? When that guy wanted to go up for the election, he used to visit me. He used to visit me. I made an appointment this week with Gil. That is the councillor for the area, Petersfield Shogunas here, and also a part of Kakandi Road. And I told him, I said, Gil, I would like to see you. I want to have a meeting with you on Friday. That's Friday gone. Friday gone. He said, don't worry, ma'am, I will be there. Hey, where are you? You didn't show up. I waited for you. I'm a serious man when it comes to my community. I give you the olive branch because I could help you. We could motivate the people of Felicity. We could motivate the people of Felicity. People of Felicity are resilient and strong people. People of Felicity could be what? It could be a jig. It could be, you know what? A group of people that could set precedents.
Let me tell you when you go see them, Imam. You don't. You are thinking that far.
Tell me.
You see Diwali coming?
Yeah.
Felicity is the Diwali capital of Trinidad and Tobago. You go see them for Diwali time. You go see them for the Ramli, that time coming.
Yeah.
You understand? But you go get coverage now.
Coverage.
Yeah.
Mileage.
Yeah. My electoral district. Look at what a Diwali celebration in my electoral. This time they do nothing. Adrian Ali, I did a video for Upper Ashraf Road this week on. Alright? Highlighting the condition of that road, the deplorable condition of that road. That road have not seen any work done for years upon years. And you are the MP, this is the second term or third term, I don't know how much it is. Mr. Man, do something about that road. Do something about that road.
That is 3 years we had to wait. That and a blue Falcock you can't see. Right? And same thing for Mayor Faik. You understand? And he could think what he want. Greenwich Road, the road to the most dilapidated. Anytime rainfall is like flood. Right? The road itself bad.
Do you know Imam today a hearse? The front end gone in that road, they had to carry the body by hand.
That is how bad
Because
it
the condition of the road.
And nobody's saying anything. You see, that is the reason why. Let me embark on a strategic program. With this TV station, let us go and identify all the bad roads and all the problems and share to the MPs of the area and also Shavanas East, Shavanas West, and also to the councillors of the area, because it seems as though they're already in position and that's it. They're waiting on proclamation from the opposition bench to come and tell them what to do. They don't follow the government bench. All right, so my friends, again, I want to thank you all.
No, wait there, so before you close, Imam, let me have your crazy indulgence, like people would normally say. Director, there's a video of Randy Singh, that little boy who we visited.
Yeah, sorry.
Right?
I forgot that.
So viewers, this is young, handsome, shall I say charming, a very ambitious Randy Singh from Lengwait, was it? Okay?
We should have the first video.
We should have the first video, right?
First video.
Randy, he wrote his common entrance and they placed him in somewhere in Laramie. Ihihoho, right? And his mother did a video. We were there, and he was requesting a transfer to Barakpur School. Okay, Randy explained that his friends helped him catch up on the classes he missed during the first month of school, and spoke glowingly of Barakpur East Secondary. That is where he's going now, describing it as one of the best schools in TNT. His admiration extended to his teachers. My teachers are so nice. I love maths most, he said. On his first day, Randy said several people greeted him and expressed admiration for his family resilience in the face of adversity. People who I did not know came and hugged me, he said. Randy also expressed appreciation to Education Minister Nayan Glasby Dolly, who assisted him in getting a transfer from La Romaine High School to Barakpur. Also, former member of parliament for that area was Nizam Baksh, right? We want to say hats off to former MP Nizam Baksh for assisting the family with that transfer. And Randy, his mother called me last night and he said, Uncle Prim, and tell Imam that we are highly grateful and thankful for Sentinel Media for all that we have done for them. So hats off to that young little boy. One day, hopefully, he'll become a policeman and hopefully a commissioner of police, Imam.
Inshallah. Okay.
So we will close there.
Right. And again, for those persons who we have been lamenting and asking you all to make that contribution for the sister down in Platonic.
Yeah.
Right. She
Rochard Douglas Road.
Rochard Douglas Road. She haven't received anything from anybody. Nobody have called her, and nobody have expressed any sentiments of assisting her. Right. So again, we are making an appeal. Director, you have that number by chance? If you have it, pull it up. And again, we are making an appeal for anybody who can render any assistance. Basically food. The number is 3977332. And again, my friends, I want to say hats off to Damien, Vijanti, Vashti, Ansar, Moses, Eddie, Edmund, Davy, Shirley, and so many others who have really and truly supported our program. I want to say a special hats off to Mr. Archie of Atlantic Trading Company Computers. Atlantic Computers. He is located in Marabella. Really and truly, I want to say a special hats off and thank you, Archie. You have really and truly blessed us with your presence in studio, and you have assisted us graciously, and we take this opportunity to express our deepest gratitude and thanks to you. Again, my friends, those of you who are locked on, please continue sharing your videos, continue sharing your facts to our program Hardfacts, where we can highlight not only for Trinidad and Tobago, but for the world at large. As I said before, there's a war that is going on in Israel and Palestine. I'm not taking side for nobody, because I'm taking side for the downtrodden, for those persons, the children, the elderly people in that area who cannot move, who cannot run, and who have been bombarded and bombed. And again, I tell you something, be mindful of the propaganda that is coming from the media. Something they are saying things, and you really and truly have to do the history of it, and then you're going to find where the direction is taking you. Do history, find out what has caused that, what has started that, and then you're going to realize, my friends, from that you will be able to make some sort of proclamation, and maybe you can really and truly make some prayers and make some du'as and something, right?
So Imam, we would also like to hope and pray and ask Almighty God that this war that is taking place should not be escalated into a world war, because we are hearing on social media again, other nations are vouching support for this country and that country to join in the war. We don't want that, okay?
And the hard part about it is that it's going to affect the world, number one. But the problem that is really and truly reeling at this present time is the children and the elderly and the sick and the infirmed and who are defenseless in that country. You know something, there's a saying, right? Anyhow, let me leave that for another time, because I'm sure some viewers might misconstrue and they might feel that we are taking side. All we are saying is, when it comes to Israel and Palestine, do some homework, do some history, and find out the facts, and then you're going to realize what is taking place, my friends. Okay? So until Wednesday, we bid you all, and may God Almighty bless you, your families, and keep us all safe. And may God Almighty bless Trinidad and Tobago.